Welcome to Harry's Hook. I am a journalist, big fan of boxing. I've written published articles on it. I also train and spar. Bow before King Artur, the new undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world. He bested Dmitry Bivol, pulling the sword from the stone via majority decision in a highly competitive showdown in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Today, I'm going to analyze the fight, break down the footage, and discuss what we learned, which includes several things about both boxers. Okay, round one, we saw Bivol with a lot of movement, utilizing a high guard. Now, in the past, he'd use a high guard at close range, but usually at medium and long distance, he'll opt for a bit of a long guard, lower lead hand. He even did this against Canelo. But for virtually the entire fight, he kept a high guard. So off the bat, we learned Bivol has a different level of respect for Beterbiev's power. In that first round, Bivol started using his quick jab to counter Beterbiev's, catching and countering with a triple jab here. In this instance, Beterbiev extends a feeler jab, and Bivol steps forward, cleverly on Beterbiev's foot, with a 1-2 backing him up. Beterbiev, an intelligent boxer, as I've said, internalized this and used it at the end of the round. Here he feints the jab and gets Bivol to react with a parry and again with a 1-2. But Beterbiev fires his own 1-2 while taking his head off the center line, landing a heavy right. Make him miss, make him pay. He tries to further capitalize here with another combo, but Bivol is out of range and counters with a 1-2. However, Beterbiev still lands a clean jab and seems unfazed. In round two, Bivol continued to effectively counter Beterbiev's jab, but I've got a lot of footage to get through. Let's skip to round three. At the start of the third, Beterbiev came out throwing higher volume, more jabs. Bivol did a pretty good job mitigating the early attack by moving. Beterbiev already had been doing a lot of L steps to reset, and Bivol in this moment times Beterbiev with a jab before he plants his lead foot. Bivol is now waiting, and Beterbiev throws one of his lunging jabs. Bivol stands his ground and counters with a left hook that perhaps was targeting Beterbiev's arm and a right hand, though Beterbiev pulled back and took off some of the sting. Bivol follows up, changing levels with a jab downstairs and a right hook around the guard that buckles Beterbiev just a little bit. In this instance, they both fire jabs at the same time and follow up with right hands. Beterbiev's a powerful hook, Bivol's a sharp cross. That's the ending of Rocky 3. If one of them were a southpaw, we'd know exactly what happened. Bivol circles out, and this time, Beterbiev throws his lunging jab before Bivol's feet are set. But Bivol is quick and counters with a right hand while parrying Beterbiev's follow-up. Skillful, efficient, just lovely. We also saw Beterbiev in this round have some success utilizing the double jab to set up his right. Even with Bivol blocking these shots, you can tell he feels the impact. Early in round 4, we can see just how closely contested this battle is. Both men are moving and fire jabs before each of their front feet are planted. In this moment here, Beterbiev fires and lands a jab, and Bivol counters with a 1-2-1. Bivol still intent on stymieing that Beterbiev jab. Beterbiev then tries a double jab, a lead right, then a lead hook, adjusting, trying to keep Bivol guessing. Bivol's near constant movement was remarkable, and he'd pretty much just stopped to pop, and yet Beterbiev kept pressuring and was undeterred by Bivol's blows. Here again, we see him use the double jab right hand that Bivol blocks but feels. Beterbiev continues his pursuit, throws another double jab, this time with a right around the guard, then uses his left to create some space for a cross. And we can see here how Bivol is affected by the power. Artur feints and gets a big reaction from Dmitry. But Bivol is not going to let Beterbiev punk him, so he comes back with a 1-2. At various points through the fight, we saw Bivol display that mentality. So we learned that while he is a boxer who emphasizes defense, he is a fighter at heart and has that dog in him, even at times to his detriment. We'll discuss that in a bit. Bivol started round 5 pretty well, but Beterbiev soon turned up the pressure and began finding that right hand a bit more. In this moment, Beterbiev dips down and fires the cross on an upward angle, frames that arm on Bivol to maintain space, then catches him with a short right as Bivol tries to exit. Beterbiev keeps up the pressure, walking Bivol down, who keeps looking to counter that Beterbiev jab. At this moment, he ducks Artur's jab and launches a left hook. Beterbiev just keeps marching forward, absolutely relentless. Bivol goes to pop him with a right hand, but Beterbiev intercepts him with a jab and again uses his forearm to create space and prevent a clinch. The pressure is non-stop, and here Beterbiev lands a solid power jab that appears to bother Bivol. Again, Beterbiev uses that 1-1-2, keeps up the pressure, and finds more targets with the right, downstairs, and upstairs. Towards the end of the round here, Bivol counters Beterbiev's jab with a right hand left hook. But Beterbiev is not done yet. He feints a jab to the body, we see Bivol drop his hand, and Beterbiev then fires the right upstairs. Throughout the fight, Beterbiev exhibited his great boxing skills, and I had said in my pre-fight video that he is a better boxer than a lot of people acknowledge. In fact, some were framing this bout as power versus skill. When it comes to Beterbiev, he's got crazy power plus skill.
Okay. Man, there's a lot.
Let's skip to the crucial round 7. Beterbiev starts off pretty solid, but at this moment here, he telegraphs a jab that Bivol parries and counters with a sharp cross. Artur then decides to reset with an L step, as he tends to do, but is a bit too close to Bivol. This time, Beterbiev's jab gets countered with a cross and heavy hook that momentarily staggers him. That fighter's heart of Bivol that I mentioned earlier kicks in, and he moves to capitalize on the moment, but he gets greedy. Beterbiev counters him with a right and left, instantly shifting the momentum. Bivol gets on his bicycle, but he looks hurt. Beterbiev fires that double jab right hand and keeps up the pressure and the barrage. Bivol feints to try to halt the assault. Beterbiev slips and fires a tight uppercut and just continues to pummel him the rest of the round. Beterbiev does not have the swift hands of Bivol, but that crucial counter was a product not only of Bivol's overzealousness, but of Beterbiev's sharp timing, which is one of the attributes that has always made him such an effective power puncher. Between rounds, Artur did look a bit winded in the corner and seemed to take his foot off the gas in the 8th, but still did enough to win it. Before the fight, I had said how Beterbiev's lead rights and counter rights would be key. Now, we already saw him make good use of the counter right, and in round 8, he utilized that lead right a bit more. In this instance, Beterbiev is doing some level changes and lead hand feints, then a hard right. He gets hit with a counter jab, but avoids the follow-up. Here, Beterbiev goes back to the level changes and lead hand feints, but Bivol recognizes it, interrupts the sequence with a jab, and backs away. Beterbiev throws one of his cuffing rights, and that kicks off a furious exchange to end the round, again showing that Bivol was perfectly willing to fire with Beterbiev at times, for better or worse. Round 9 was a Dmitry Bivol tour de force. Beterbiev had won a few rounds in a row, and here Bivol stopped his momentum through brilliant movement, counters, combos, and mixing targets. He began the 9th more aggressively, firing a double jab upstairs and a hard right to the body, plus a little gratuity at the end there. Here, we see Beterbiev throw a jab, then back up, but Bivol follows him with a 1-2, and he's not willing to let Beterbiev out of the corner just yet. He fires a double jab, changing levels, and a right hook upstairs. Beterbiev worked out of the corner, and here Bivol fires a jab, lands a clean right to the body, another left upstairs. Beterbiev responds with a cross and is walking Bivol against the ropes. Beterbiev throws a jab, which Bivol slips and rips a heavy hook. Bivol counters the jab again here with a 1-2 to the body, a left hook to the head, and a cross that pierced Beterbiev's guard. Notice that Bivol is commanding the center of the ring here, making Beterbiev move on the outside. And here, Bivol slips and rips a left hook again, this time targeting the body. Beterbiev reclaimed the center of the ring. Bivol, moving laterally, stops and pops Beterbiev with two 1-2-3 variants. First all to the head, then with the cross downstairs. He then moves laterally and counters Beterbiev's jab with a sharp 1-2-1. Beterbiev, undeterred, continued his pursuit and lands a right on Bivol's guard that knocks him back. But Bivol plants his feet and drives his head into Beterbiev's chest to halt his advance. At various points in this fight, Bivol was a physical presence on the inside and would not let Beterbiev dominate him there. We learn Bivol is stronger physically than many give him credit for. Beterbiev came out more aggressive for the 10th, intent on not allowing Bivol to string together more rounds through his relentless pressure, and particularly by utilizing that double jab right-hand combo. Bivol did mount a bit of a rally at the end, starting with him catching Beterbiev with his lead hand low at close range. Then by countering Beterbiev's jab and letting his hands fly a bit. But Beterbiev then caught Bivol with a lead right that buckled his legs and led to a rally through the end of the round. Round 11 was Beterbiev dominance, though Bivol had a decent first third. But Beterbiev seized control when he caught Bivol with his lead hand low and landed a heavy double jab and cuffing right hand. Bivol got on his bicycle and Beterbiev landed a thudding right to the body. Bivol is using his lateral movement, but Beterbiev is cutting off the ring, going back to the body and shifting stances while striking the guard. Beterbiev fires that double jab cross, corralling Bivol into the corner, pierces his guard with a right up top, following with a touch cross and left hook. Beterbiev again attacks the body, mixes targets, batters the guard. We see Beterbiev here land a hard right to the body and follow up to the head. I think those body attacks were crucial this round and made me wonder why Beterbiev didn't go to the body more consistently throughout the fight. Both landed 31 body shots by CompuBox count. We get to a point where Bivol decides, you know what, I'm getting caught when I try to maintain distance, so I'm going to crowd Beterbiev to smother his offense. That didn't work. Beterbiev intelligently changed angles and stances during his assault, which really made that Bivol tactic backfire and showcased Beterbiev's technical ability. Beterbiev kept up his steam at the start of the final round, pressing Bivol and bashing his guard. But Bivol stopped and popped and used those quick hands to halt the momentum and put the round on even terms. But here, Beterbiev feints a jab and unloads a heavy hook around Bivol's guard and appears to hurt him. This ignites a rally for Artur that has Bivol covering up and on his bicycle. Dmitry did try to halt the momentum a few different times, but Beterbiev was unrelenting and I think did enough to win the round. We learned Dmitry Bivol not only has that dog in him and is willing to step in the fire, but that he's also impressively durable. First fighter to take Artur Beterbiev 12 rounds, ending that 100% knockout streak. His defense played a huge part in that, but Bivol also took some blows from Beterbiev that would have stopped or badly hurt other boxers. Now, I picked Beterbiev to win via late stoppage, but in addition to his elite defense, Dmitry Bivol has proved that he has elite durability. In my opinion, his stock rose. And we learned Beterbiev can box with the very best of them. Sure, Bivol sometimes made him look a bit slow, but Artur's jab, timing, pressure, obviously along with his power, at times cracked Dmitry's armor. Beterbiev's offense, whether you're talking punches landed or efficiency, was better against Bivol than Canelo's. Doesn't mean he's a better boxer than Canelo, but it is a compliment to his skills. Plus, I think there's reason to believe that Artur may be even tougher to beat in a rematch. By the way, if you enjoy this content, come on, do me a solid. Like the video, it does help. And if you want more content like this, subscribe to my channel. I think we also learned that Beterbiev's knee, it looked okay in there. And that was one of my big potential concerns and X factors heading into the fight. He was doing his L steps and lunges and didn't appear affected, though it's hard to completely tell. However, he looked like he had to conserve his energy at different points and not turn the nitro all the way up. Now that could just be because he's 39 going on 40 and that's how the human body works. But it's also possible that that torn meniscus affected his ability to do road work and cardio preparation. Now, I don't know for certain, I'm just speculating, but it's possible that his gas tank could be even better in a rematch. But also, Beterbiev's reserves in the 11th and 12th were quite impressive, so can't forget that. In the realm of tactics, I do think that Beterbiev could have focused some more attention on the body, because when he did, he was successful. And for Bivol, while I do think that he reached closer to his apex performance than Beterbiev did, I still think that Dmitry could have made some smarter tactical decisions. For one thing, showing a bit more restraint at times, because he got caught when he got greedy, which is odd because when I think of the word discipline, Bivol is one of the first fighters I think of. Beterbiev's another one. Ultimately, we learned that neither fighter was fully able to impose their will or their game plan on the other. Bivol was able to stymie Beterbiev's offense for stretches, but not indefinitely. And Beterbiev was capable of mounting rallies and hurting Bivol, but not consistently. Before the fight, even though I picked Beterbiev to win, I said that Bivol had everything he needed in order to triumph. And I think he proved that. And Beterbiev certainly proved that he was not going to get a boxing lesson, as some thought. He has everything he needs to beat Bivol. But it is worth noting that he's almost 40, age is going to continue to be a wild card. Anyone who thought this battle would be a blowout, they were proved wrong. These men, at this moment in time, are closely matched. And in my eyes, there was no definitive winner. That's why we need to see them do it again. And that right there is Harry's hook. What'd you take from the fight? Who do you have in a rematch? Comment below.